Hello, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I am here with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. And I'm Tara Lena from California Cover Ups. And I want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory,
Hi,
real
friend.
estate, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. And we are the Biz Chicks. We're here every Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard.
Eastern time. Yeah.
So we're going to get this party started. We are here because Coach Caren is our money mindset coach, and she's here to help us get our money and our minds straight concerning our money. So, Coach, we are so happy to have you in the studio. I want you to know that Coach Caren has run a number of successful businesses. She is still in business. However, she has such a rich history. She's run cleaning, um, organizations, janitorial services. She's run daycares. She's been in the food industry. She's been in the clothing industry. I mean, you've crossed so many different markets that we can ask you just about anything. So I want you guys to feel comfortable knowing that she is here to answer your questions.
Yes.
And you know what? I was scrolling looking for the banner and I was in the wrong folder. So that is why oh my gosh. So welcome
Right. You
everybody.
want to roll the brand?
No, I'm good. I'm finding your banner. I'm looking
Okay.
for your
Okay.
profits in daily. You can find Coach Caren everywhere under profits in daily. And
Right
I
on.
have that
Right on.
banner up shortly. But meanwhile, we're going to turn it over to Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. What do you have for us today, Coach?
Thank you, guys, and I appreciate it. If you pop on live or on the replay, really appreciate you. All this month of September,
Ta-da!
all this month of September, we are doing creativity. And if you look over Terry, she's in the creative spirit. Look at those colors that she's rocking. They're beautiful. Look at a beautiful lady. Okay, just pause and just take that in for a minute. Terry, you're styling, girl.
Thank you. I said I need something to just cheer me up. So,
Yes, yes,
yes.
yes, yes. And color will do that. Color
Tell
will
me
do
to do
that.
that.
So I tell you. So today we start off talking about the creativity, creation. Today we're talking about the creator. And the creator made us. And so if we're in his image, then we're
Mhm,
also creators. We're creating for the enjoyment of somebody else to help them move forward. All right. This is what we're supposed to be doing. It's a
mhm,
person or thing that brings something into existence. That's what being creative is. We have it in our mind eyes, and then we bring it so that somebody can see, because nobody can see in our minds and know what we can create. Just keep remembering that. And whatever you're creating is not for yourself. You might enjoy it, you might love making it, but it's really for somebody else. It's somebody else to enjoy, to take them to a different place. And today I'm going to share a little clip from YouTube with you, and he's saying exactly what I say, and this is for music. But I just wanted to bring something a little special so you can get into what I'm talking about. So the first thing I want to talk about is, as a creator, what do you see in you? And you really, really, as I said last week, there's just so much inside of us. Sometimes so much so that we're afraid to bring forth one or the other because we're not sure which one will be fruitful. The truth
mhm,
of the matter is, and this is sometimes, I guess, and sometimes I realize from high school and even primary school, when my kids went to school and I volunteered, that lots of time it get hampered by the teachers, and they're not doing it because they're malicious, just blindly saying what is it you need to do and focusing on that, so the
mhm,
other things get left behind. I remember my daughter wanted to play volleyball, and she'd never played before, from the school she's coming from, and he said she was too late to get into it because of her age. And I said to him, this is pretty dumb and stupid, because if she wants to play and now she realizes it, why couldn't she play? And he explained to me the level they were playing at and what have you. And I challenged him. And we had a big thing, like every parent was there and what have you. And since he wanted to put her down, I challenged him. I said, how many games have the school won? Like when did, and he told me, he said, so when did they win the game? When was the last win? It was 3 years ago. So therefore, she wouldn't hamper you because 3 years ago you weren't winning anything.
You aren't
So
winning
it's
anyway.
okay if she joined in. Okay. So, and it coming from the place where that person is coming from. I
How
think
much
Terry froze a
damage can
little
you
bit,
do to
but
a
I'll
losing
continue
team?
talking. And she'll come back on. You never know what's going on these days. My internet did that the other day too. And I am close to my modem. You never know. But let's get right into it.
Okay.
So you got to see what's in you. Sorry, and bring it forth, right? And let it come. When do you feel like you can call yourself such, like a creative? Because we have been bombarded with dance and music and skits and actors and people who sculpt, and those people are the creativity people. Those people are you creators, but we're all creators. It's just that ours mightn't shine the way that might shine. A storyteller,
Okay.
a creator, and somebody who's telling a story. Just because your ear is not trained to listen to a story from where I'm from or somebody else is from, doesn't mean they're not creative in their storytelling. And I'm going to say this for North Americans. They just like to want to hear it how their ears need to hear it. But the truth is, we've got our own story that's told differently, and nothing is wrong with it. For years, I tried telling it the way at least I was told. And I finally had to stood up to a professor. I said, listen, I'm from South America. So I'm just going to break it down to you. I'm going to even go into my own country language here so you can understand.
Yes.
This is how the story is told. I am not shifting it. I am not changing it. And I'm not rewriting it. Now, if my grammar is bad, I get it. If my sentence structure is bad, I get it. If your ear is not hearing where I'm coming from, then there's a problem. And I will say to him, he allowed me. He says, Caren, then read the story. And I told the story. I said, I don't even need to read it. I lived the story. So I told the
Mhm.
story.
Yes.
And everybody was like, wow. Like, because sometimes reading it is hard. I get it, but you can't just tell me that I need
Mhm.
to write the story your ears are used to, because I don't know that story. I came to Canada 26. I don't know that story.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
you have to stand up and fight for your creativity, but and use your voice. You can't use somebody else's voice, because then you're not telling your story.
Wow.
Each of us have our story, and our story come out in our earrings, our hair. Hair braiding is really across the globe. Most black people can braid, but the way I braid, nobody else can braid your hair like I would braid it. One of the things when I had a hairdresser, when I had my salon, my braiding guaranteed that your hair is not going to break, because it's not braided tightly, but it's braided still to last. And people took a while to get used to. It doesn't have to hurt your head, and it's still gonna last you the time that I say. If I said 8 weeks or 6 weeks, that braid is gonna stay in your hair for that time, and it's not gonna fall out, because I have my own technique. I've been
Mhm.
braiding hair, my own hair, since I was, before I was a teenager. So I've been braiding hair a long time. And then I went back and learned professionally how to add extensions, because I
Mhm.
wanted to get it right. And she did a great job teaching me, but I had to develop my own voice, right? And
There you
so
go.
before I get into the last part, I really want to bring up and some other stories. I really want to bring up this guy that I was listening to this morning. I'm like, you're hitting it head on. So I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen. Give me a minute, guys.
No problem. Coach, I love the fact that you talking about us defending our story. That's a
Yes.
beautiful thing. Yes, stand up for your story. And I liked how you had a data-driven response for the coach. If you haven't won in 3 years, I mean, how can I mess up that record? All righty, Daddy. Go ahead and share.
Oh Lord,
Hmm.
where are we? All right, there we are. I think you might have to share it for me.
I'm going to add it to the stream, and you start it on your
Right,
end.
and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start it.
Is because there's something that you're doing physically that is blocking that from coming out. I tell my clients all the time, when you come in, I'm not teaching you how to sing, so don't think that. But what I am doing is that I'm getting everything out of the way that has been blocking you from singing great. When you start to find what your voice is, it's going to sound great and beautiful, and it's not going to sound like anybody else. This is why you can recognize, different voices of your family members, for instance. Everybody has a different voice. So I'm going to show you something, the process that I go through. I've got Philip Michael here.
You guys hear what he said there? He is not trying to change your voice, who you are. He doesn't want you to sound like Whitney Houston. He doesn't want you to sound like anybody else. I used to sing at our radio station. My voice is gone now. I think I need to go back and get some training. I never had training. I was just a natural born singer, and I could sing. But I did have to, like my singing teacher would be in there and guide you as a child. And as I grew, I had, people who come in and train you and whatever for the music you're singing. But one of the things that she would always say to other kids are like, why are you trying to sound like X, Y, and Z? I know I sing bass. I doesn't sing like anybody else. I don't have those tunes. I can carry a note, but it's not, no, it's where I am, and I'm happy with where I'm at. When you start doing that, you rarely have a voice, whether it's singing or whatever, but I thought he brought it over so beautifully. And that's what you do as a trainer, as a singer, as a coach or a teacher.
Yeah. And when we're talking to people about their books, we tell them we want to hear your voice.
Yes.
Don't change your voice.
Yes.
You may correct grammar or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but we want to hear it in your authentic voice.
Yeah, because that's the only way you really enjoy and get out of it what the person is wanting to tell you.
Because it's speaking from the heart.
Yes.
And so we want to hear your heart, not my heart.
Mm-mm. No, you want to hear yours. I had a discussion with a lady once. She was saying, she was talking about coaches, and she had a lot of negativity around being a coach, being called a coach, and what have you. And I decided to challenge her right here online. I said to her, I've been a teacher forever, so I am not going to change those titles because something is not looking right on the streams and what people are saying. Mm-hmm. If you are backing out from being a coach, you really were never a coach. That probably is not something you wanted to do. Maybe you step in because you heard it's going to make you a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And so you pop into that. Or maybe here teaching a course can make you a lot of money, so you pop into that. Mm-hmm. Teachers are teachers. You don't have to pay them. They're going to just teach, and they're going to eventually get paid. Okay? Coaches, I've been coaching long before I got paid. I coach people and I got product out of it. I coach people and I got different things out of it. And I coach people for nothing. And only after then, I coach people and got money for it. And once I start getting gifts as money for it, then I realized that, hey, I've really got something, because they were telling me, but I couldn't hear it because I was doubting myself. So I get it. One day it was a friend of mine. She looked at me, she says, Caren, the stuff you have me do, the stuff you walk me through, the places I'm at, it's definitely because I met you. I want you to not question that. I met you, and that's why I'm where I'm at. Anytime I'm asking myself a question, I met you. And that's what he's saying. Like, you meet him, he is going to help you with your voice, but you still have to come with your own voice. He's going to move all the things that's in your way, all the obstacles that you have placed there, subconsciously, unknowingly, that you have there in your way, that in your blind spot that you can't see. He's going to help you remove them. And for the singer, it's standing a certain way, making sure the voice come out a certain way, lifting up that rib cage, breathing easily. For that singer, is not coming in with whatever happened for the day and taking that burden and placing it in the space for your voice. You can't hear it because in your voice, when you're worried, you can hear it. When you're frightened, you can hear it. But if you're not training the singer and you hear, you probably might notice. But I had this teacher who used to say, she wasn't a great singer herself, but she's a great pianist, but she had a great ear. And she told us when she came, she says, I am not a good singer, but I could hear every note. This is my gift.
Wow.
And, she'd say, Caren, what's troubling you today? I remember the first time she said that to me, and I was like, nothing's troubling me. Like, what are you talking about? She said, something is troubling you. And if you don't want to discuss it, that's great, but you're not going to be singing here today because you're disrupting the group. You're going to have to step aside and go breathe it out. You don't have to tell me the whole thing, but we're going to have to breathe it out because you're not doing great. And everybody's getting thrown off because I did a lot of solos, but we sang in a group mostly, And and over time, of course, we got used to her. And then if it's a problem, you just go talk to her about it before singing classes, and she'll help you do breathing exercises so you can come in, do your stuff, and then deal with your stuff. And that's how life works. You really have to step aside and deal with what's happening with you. So, because creativity doesn't like junk and things, you know this. When you sit there, it just pushes everything aside, and it just wants the creator to be fully soul and body in there and just embracing it and just making it be what it has to be. And that's why I tell the creatives, if you think you're the kind of creative person who do not want to learn about certain things, I caution you. I say you must learn. We don't have to go in depth, but you must learn a little bit, because you want to be able to talk to your bookkeeper. You want to be able to talk to your personal finance person that helps you with your money. You want to talk to your tax person if they're separate people.
Yes.
You really want to talk to these people, because even though you might not want to do it, you still want to have this conversation. You can't ask good questions if you don't know what to ask. I've been in rooms with people who talk about things that was just went over my head, and I was just feeling so lost. I didn't know what to do with myself. And I remember getting to the back of the room and was talking to a young girl, and she was with the company, but she hasn't been with them long, and she couldn't answer a lot of questions. And, I say to her, she said, you know what? Let me get you to talk to so-and-so. Okay. But if I didn't go talk to her, I wouldn't get to him. Correct. And then, I go talk to the guy. I let him know, whatever. He says, I've been where you are. You're going to probably have to attend a lot of these conferences to get used to your mind, get used to the idea about it. Don't pay for anything yet. Just come to the free workshops, get used to the language, the people, yes, how it feels, and let this be something you really want to do. And of course, I was hurried up and I was like, what are you talking about? I just want to learn how to invest in property and what have you. I'm gonna lie to you. But he was so right. After my third time, I was like, by the time the guy starts speaking, I was like, oh, I know what he's talking about.
Because every industry has its own language, does it not?
Yes. And before you get all upset a word, don't listen to people. Just go in and pay attention. Just be quiet. Just get in there. If there's games, they like to put you in games and they like to put you in groups and do games and do strategy. Get in there. Mm-hmm. And get on a team with people who knows a lot, because they're going to talk a lot and you're going to be very quiet and you're going to just listen. I'm an extrovert. But when I get into groups where I know nothing, I do a lot of listening and I'm very quiet. And they're like, can you have any contribution? And I'm like, I'm just taking it all in. And they're happy to tell me, because that's their wheelhouse. They're excited. And I'm just there observing everything.
There you go.
So
I love it. And that's what happens when you're in the room with experts. Mm-hmm. They will, because we're full of it, it just pours out naturally in our conversation. Exactly. If we're in a space where we're allowed to have that conversation. So yes, you can gain a lot of information. And then people love to share.
They do.
If you just ask.
They do. They want to. This thing about when people got money, they don't want to tell you. You just didn't know what to ask them.
Exactly.
That's all. You didn't know what to say. And sometimes if you don't know what to say, this is what I'll say to people. If you don't know what to say, you go to them and you tell them what you want to do, and you want to know where you should start. Mm-hmm. And they'll recommend a book to you. They'll give you some time. They'll talk to you. I remember this guy, I didn't even know he was a billionaire here. And he said, Karen, just give me a call and we'll talk. And it was a 3-day conference. And on the third day, I was in this group and I was telling this couple. And they said to me, you know who that is? And I was like, no. You really don't
might want to make that call.
And I was like, no. It's this guy, man. He's just been chatting about different things. They're like, it's so-and-so. I was like, I still didn't know, because I didn't know what I didn't know.
Exactly.
And we went to lunch and the guys are like, this guy is a real estate developer. He traveled around the world. He He does this, he does that. I'm like, that dude?
Now you have the information that you need.
You're serious. So, of course, within 2 days, I called it, because I was thinking, well, maybe after they told me that, I was like, maybe he wouldn't answer the phone. The guy answered the phone.
Exactly.
The guy answered the phone. He says, I could see it in you that you want to do some things. And what is it you want to know? I'd write down a couple of questions and I'd ask him. Easy, easy squeezy, easy squeezy. But you have to be there, right? So you're gonna have to show up.
And not only that, don't try to suck all the milk out of the cow in one milking.
Ooh, Terry, you said a whole mouthful there, girl.
Tell me everything you know. I got 10 minutes. Really?
Every time somebody tells me this, I'm like in shock. I'm like, I cannot, I would need years to download.
Well, it took years to accumulate that information, expertise, experience. But you want to know it all in 5 minutes.
Ain't gonna happen.
For free.
Yeah. Yeah, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. That's not
we've made thousands of dollars of mistakes, and what you're paying for is to avoid those same pitfalls.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You're not gonna get all of it, and that's what he appreciated too. What I wanted to know wasn't me bombarding. He even keeps saying, "You have any more questions?" I didn't know. Right now, that's all I really wanted to know to get me going. He said, "Good, because you really don't need any more because you're not there yet. You're not ready yet. So
there you go.
Perfect. What we discussed is just right. That's all you need right now." And he was on point. I didn't need anything more because I couldn't do anything with the other stuff, even if he'd given it to me.
You weren't ready.
I wasn't ready. Small kids, a whole bunch of things. Okay, so number 3 is, what do you see as a creator? See yourself as a creator, and how do you make dollars from it? Because I talk money, and really, that's eventually, no matter what you're doing, you want to know how you're going to make dollars out of it. You're going to want to know how you can get a job in this place, or how you can start a business, what you can do with all this creativity as you're a creator.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what can you do? And the bottom line is, you have to really sit down with yourself and be honest with you. Nobody can make you honest with yourself other than you. That's why you see that clip I just showed there. The guy says, I just moved the blocks away so that you can see you and see. And I shouldn't say just move. It's a heavy lifting to move the blocks away. Let me clarify. It's a heavy lifting. But I've been lifting a while, so I can help you move them out of the way, the ones that you can see. And so this allow me to help you move those out of the way so you can see you. If you got $100 to invest, we can sit and talk about what you can do with $100. You'd be amazed what $100 can do. If you got $50, we can talk about what our $50 can do. Where do you do? What do you spend it on? What can you pick up and do for you with the $50? Because right now that's all you have. And sometimes people don't make a move because they're like, I don't have it. I remember this one girl said to me, I don't even have $50. I said, you do have $50. You probably have more than $100. You just haven't seen it yet. And through the conversation, this was an in-person client. I had her for like 6 months actually. And, when she came to me, she was with Herbalife and she had no money, and she was moving from a terrible situation into not such of a great situation, but she needed a place to live. And we met because she had this business with Herbalife, and she teaches workouts and what have you. And we met because she put out a flyer, and I said, you did number 1, you put out a flyer. Hi, Doc. And I went to the flyer because I was working on my weight loss journey. And we got there and we started talking. I told her what I do. She says she want to come on board. I gave her a free lesson, and she ended up staying for the 6 months. And one of the biggest things she had said to me, she says, Caren, when you help me move those blocks, I feel like I did the impossible. I feel like I did the impossible, because what she was trying to do, and no against Herbalife and her up lead, what they were having her do was not in her character, wasn't helping her move. I said, all you needed, I'll tell you a few things I did with her. I said, all you needed is 20 students. That's it. 20 people to help. And out of that 20 people, if you help 6 to 8 people, you golden. You don't have to help all 20. And I'll tell you why. All 20 is not going to do the things you want them to do. And she ended up getting about 60 people. I was one of the people. And halfway through the program, half of them dropped out, which I told her to expect, and because she expected them everybody to be there, she was cool. And the place she was living, how to readjust her mind to live where she needed to live at the time until she can do better, so that her son could enjoy a happy mom versus an unhappy mom, because those were like big things in her pocket. And to just be and love the person. You don't have to be in love with them, but love the person you're with at the time, so that you can not have this tension. Once she was able to release those tensions and understand, move away those blocks and those pillars, she was able to shine. She was able to go to a conference, She went to the States, the second conference. She was able to move up in her upline and start seeing herself, hey, this is not really I want to be, but this is my stepping stone. I keep saying to her, don't leave Herbalife, not because I like it, but because that's where your income is coming from at the
Mm-hmm.
moment. What you need to do is build up your FIP program, because it had nothing to do with Herbalife, it just was an attachment, and allow those people to see results. And we had within the 90 days, we had 3 people with results to talk about. Because those people showed up. Because
Mm-hmm.
her program was 5 in the morning. So 5 o'clock in the morning, we're on the track. And then she had an afternoon shift. The afternoon she had
Mm-hmm.
more people, but the more I was with the morning and the afternoon people, but the morning people, those were her people. Those were her people. Those morning gals, they came, they showed up,
They were committed.
they
Mm-hmm.
were committed. They were committed. I'm like, this is where your creativity is going to show up and shine. To encourage people, to make people feel good about their body, no matter the size. And you know when to say, hey, you could buy the shake, but you don't need the shake yet. Or you don't have to buy it every month. Even though you're going to lose a commission, you're going to gain a lifelong client
Mm-hmm.
who really want to lose the weight, tone up, and you're going to have them for a very long time. And all the things that we got into and done, she's like, I can't believe I get to live here for a year. Get to live at a place for a year for free so she could fix her finances. Because the people she was talking to before she hired me was like, just move, find a place, no matter what you do, start over. Some situations, if you could stay, it's not abusive, there's nobody physically harming you or emotionally harming you.
Mm-hmm.
You might got some hardship happening in between, but I want you to, if you can stay, stand it out. And once we discuss it and I look through everything, it wasn't a situation where it was harmful. It wasn't the pleasantest, but it wasn't harmful. What it
Mm-hmm.
allowed her to do, though, and I told her, I said, God wanted you to understand, stuff that's happening that you probably never been through before. So this is allowing her to get through a difficult time, to
Okay.
understand when somebody might be aggravated, how to handle that kind of behavior. She learned a great skill living there for a year and handling somebody who was aggravated with themselves, had nothing to do with her. And they eventually saying that to her, I can't believe how you handle me and how you've allowed me to become a better person. She keep telling me, Caren, I didn't do anything to help him. You did. You allow him to handle himself better. You allowed him to actually reconcile with his mom and change his behavior. And he even went therapy through this whole processes because you rub off of him without saying anything. She changed her behavior. You can't change anybody. You can only change your behavior and what you want to do. And if you don't think that takes creativity, let me tell you, it does.
Wow.
It does. It does. And when you clear those blocks, you see your money start coming in. If she didn't clear those blocks, she wouldn't get move up in the company and make more money. She wouldn't have her own side because that's the big thing I kept telling her. Her side hustle was the people who come in the mornings and in the
Yeah.
afternoon. That was her side hustle. It was
Mm-hmm.
free. She never charged for it. So initially, the first 30 days, she said, Caren, I don't charge for the exercise. How is that my side hustle? It's your side hustle. Eventually, and I tell you, in 60 days, everybody wanted to know how much she's charging for a class, and she didn't have to say anything. In 30 days, in 60 days, people want to know how much for a class, and then eventually, we have our library at the back have a rec center, and
Mm-hmm.
they do workout and stuff. And I used to volunteer at the library. So I went to my gal and I find out, are they looking for teachers in the rec center? She's like,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And my girl was certified. So she was able to give a class there, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they're paying her for the class. She's bringing in clients because she's been training these ladies. And her style was so wonderful. I liked it. Like she's just a good teacher. Can I tell you, she was
Mm-hmm.
just a good teacher. She didn't know it, but she's such a good teacher. So, guys, we're talking about creativity. I get real pumped up
Creativity.
about it because there's just so many areas to find it in. And don't downplay what you're creating. Don't downplay how creative you are
Okay.
because each and every one of us are. We are creators. We create things. A doctor, head doctors in hospitals have to be very creative to have his fellow doctors listen to him and want to do, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and want to stay working there. You mightn't believe this, but at least here, doctors can move. They don't have to stay where they are. When you get doctors that stay at a hospital for a long stretch of time, good people at the top that's making this happen. So the atmosphere is good. People want to stay there. My daughter had she had the head doctor when she was in there for close to a year. And Dr. Green was like one of those doctors. You think you knew him forever. He come and sit with you like if he has no other patients. When I found out he was the head of the children's ward, I said to him, "You're the head of all these guys?" He goes, "Yeah, but what does that really mean? I just have more experience."
That's what it means. Well, Coach, we are at the top of our
Yes,
game. Can you recap for us real quick?
yes,
Those
yeah. So
three.
today we talked about the creator, and we talk about what do you see in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
how it makes you feel really when you're in that power zone, and how do you make money from it. And if you stick to it and you clear those blocks away, go back and look at that little clip, you'll see how you just bring forth what is inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's inside of you, you bring it up through creativity. Creativity makes you relax, make you focus, and you want to consistently do it because it brings a smile to your face.
That's true. Even when you just think about it,
Yeah,
you
when I think about
it
creating
just
something, I smile.
makes you smile. Oh my God.
Yes,
You,
yes, ah,
mhm.
yes.
You need to say that. Well, guys, I want you to know if you're looking for Coach Karen, you can find her in the internet space at Profits in Daily with Coach Karen Fern. She's here to help you recalibrate your money mindset.
I
Maybe
like
it's
that.
time for a reset, guys. Seek her out. She's going to help you with your businesses, with your personal finances. This is your money mindset coach. So we want to thank Coach Karen. She's come to us every week from Toronto, Canada. I take it the weather is good there.
It is wonderful.
Cool. This is good. This is good to know. So, guys, tomorrow we'll be talking happy, healthy habits with Robin Shamizu and friends. And I do believe that Linus Mullins will be on. She was featured in First Woman magazine.
Oh, congrats,
Yes,
girl.
yes, you can find it on your newsstands. I think it's either Women First or First Women's Magazine, but it is one of those newspapers that you find at the checkout stand.
Okay.
Dr. Tachi says, "Thank you, Coach Karen."
You're welcome.
She's so sweet. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then Friday, in fact, hopefully we'll hear from Dr. Tachi over there on Tech Diva Weekly, which is our tech show every Friday, Tech Life Weekly. With that, we want to remind you it's okay to make money in your business.
Yes, it's
It
good.
really, really is. So go to the front of your own line. You can find BizChicks at bizchicks.net, or to join our community, you can always text Biz to 33777 and join our Heartbeat community. We'd love to know what you do so that you can help other women run a profitable business that's fun to run, and so that we can support you. We want to say this: don't forget
To
to
go
go
to the front of your own
your
line.
own mind. Have a great day, and we will see you soon. Bye bye, everyone.